Hi, welcome to today's podcast. My name is Sophia, and today I'm going to share with you the work of Andy Everson, an accomplished Indigenous artist from Comox, British Columbia. Andy Everson is deeply connected to the traditions of the Comox and Kwakwaka'wakw First Nations. He has made important contributions towards the preservation of Indigenous culture. In today's episode, we'll be diving into his powerful artwork called Resistance. Andy Everson was born in 1972 in Comox, BC, and carries the traditional name Nagadzi that was given to him in honor of his grandfather, Chief Andy Frank of the Comox First Nation. He has deep connection with his heritage, which is seen through his lifelong dedication to the traditions of both the Comox and Kwakwaka'wakw First Nations. Influenced by his grandmother, Andy Everson has been performing traditional songs, dances, and participating in ceremonies. Although Andy started playing with Northwest Coast art as a child, he actually began designing and painting seriously in 1990. Being a self-taught artist, he produces bold, characteristic renderings that reflect his heritage. His use of both traditional and contemporary elements is what makes his work stand out, especially in pieces like Resistance. One of Andy's most powerful pieces is titled Resistance, which he released in 2016. It's a gouache print that's very striking and carries a deep message. At first glance, you'll see what looks like a Star Wars stormtrooper helmet, but it's actually covered in traditional Indigenous designs. This combination of modern pop culture and traditional art is what makes Resistance so impactful. The artwork is about Indigenous resilience. For centuries, governments in North America tried to erase Indigenous cultures through things like residential schools, banning traditional practices, and even outright violence. But Indigenous people resisted in every way they could, whether it was by secretly continuing ceremonies, speaking their languages, or simply surviving. They fought back. In Resistance, the stormtrooper helmet represents these oppressive forces, but by covering it in Indigenous art, Andy shows how the people pushed back and reclaimed their identity. The message is clear. Despite all attempts to destroy Indigenous cultures, they remain strong and proud. What really sticks with me about Resistance is how it's not just about the past, it's about now. Andy's piece reminds us that resisting isn't something that just happened before. It's ongoing. In today's world where traditions can easily get lost in modern consumer culture, Andy's work is a reminder to stay connected to what really matters and keep these traditions alive. Thank you for listening, and I hope this gave you a new perspective on Indigenous art and its role in cultural resistance.